Hello again, everyone. Welcome back for part two. As you can see, I already have Expression Encoder loaded, so I'm going to get ready and just pull in everything that we're going to edit. First thing to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click Import, and I'm going to import the first part of the movie, right? The first video that I captured. So it imports it onto the screen, gives you a preview of what it looks like right now. There's some other information that we'll cover in a minute. But before we actually get to any editing, let's import the other clips so that we can make one coherent movie out of all of these clips that I made. I've already deleted all the ones I don't care for, so I'm just going to select all of the remainders and click Open. And as you can see, it's imported all 7 pieces of the previous segment onto the screen. And if I click on this purple bar, which shows you where you are in the current length of the movie, you can see that the preview is changing. And if I hit play right now, you'd actually
go back
see
and define my capture area.
and hear me talking so that you understand in a time period what's happening. I'm going to go back up here to the beginning, and we'll get ready to go right into editing. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut out some of the slack space at the end of one of the recordings here. I know in one of these I ended up struggling with the keyboard, getting the cursor to where I wanted, and being able to stop the recording, so there's 10 or 15 seconds of total dead space. That would be awkward in a video. So I'm going to move my cursor over towards near where I think it is, and I'm going to zoom in on the timeline here because it's going to make it easier to work in the editor when there's less time occurring here. So I'm going to go to, I don't know, about the 155 mark, and I'm going to hit play just to hear where the end occurs around about so that I can figure out what it is I'm listening for. So let's see if we can hear where my audio cuts out and I have some delay. Happy middle ground. There you go, happy middle ground. And now nothing is happening. So it's about the 157 mark or so. I'm going to hit play again. Yeah, so that was it, 156 or so. So what I'm going to do now is I figured out where I'm going to cut out this dead space. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose Insert and Edit. When you click this button, you'll notice it inserted a little break line and turned this entire section of video content into its own little bubble. And that's so you can do, more advanced editing concepts. But what I really care about is after making that edit, I move the cursor bar into the middle of it, and I come over here and I say remove it from the play area. And now, from the end of me speaking to the beginning of the next clip, is much more has been greatly shortened. End up with some happy middle ground. So the next step is actually, so now it sounds like I basically just took a breath and continued on speaking. And that's how that entire first part of the video was put together. I just made sure to cut out all of the different dead spots in between, made sure everything sounded good. If I ran on at the end of a segment, I may have cut that out as well. So now that we've made all the edits we're interested in, it's time to actually set it up to encode properly for the uploads. So now over in the right hand side here, you have this working pane, and up at the top are presets. And the presets are really the encoding presets that you can use. And you can see there's different options available. There's quality, devices, online services, Silverlight, and just re-encode using the original settings. What we want, or what I've been using, is come over here to online services, choose the HD profile, and then it has popular online video encoding targets, right? Facebook, Vimeo, and YouTube are the big ones. Using these predefined ones will ensure that the output file is one that will have no problems being uploaded and used, and you won't lose any quality during the video services transcode process, right? After you upload to YouTube and they do their own work on the file, it won't negatively affect you because you have some unsupported encoding feature. So I'm going to choose YouTube HD and apply it. So I double clicked on it there, but you can also click apply. And you see it changed the output format, the video and audio codecs to ones that YouTube is going to support. And then down here, it's going to include some basic information about what it's recording, what mode it's using, what the frame rate is going to be. All of these, by the way, should always stay at source. And source means use the same frame rates, use the same quality as the original source file. And the reason that's important, particularly for this capture scenario, is unlike, say, a regular video, we're not capturing at 30 frames a second. You really don't need to for screen capture. It's capturing at 15 frames a second. And that makes a dramatic impact on the size of the file that results without really a noticeable impact in quality. So if you did it at 30 frames a second instead of 15, you'd be adding zero quality because there wasn't 30 frames there to begin with, but you'd be doubling the size of the files. As an example, that part one ended up being about 130 megs for a 9-minute movie. Once you have the video clip set up the way you want and you have the profile set, it's as simple as coming down here and clicking encode. That's going to begin the encoder job. The encoder will take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to who knows how long. Depends entirely on how long your video length is and how powerful your system is. So I've given you the very basic editing techniques that are involved. Encoder is actually a very powerful tool for video editing, almost professional level. And we could spend days or weeks going through all the minor nuances, most of which I really don't understand or know myself. Most of this I learned by poking around in the tool, discovering different features, and doing just what I need to do. So for a simple encoder and a creation of these demo videos, that's all I really ever need to do is load up multiple clips, cut out the parts I don't like, and then encode in the new codec. So as you can see, it's extremely simple to do. There's not much smoke and mirrors and magic involved. So feel free to go out and start creating your own videos and uploading them and sharing them with everyone else.